friend. Gentlemen, let me give you a truth most men never hear. Women don't stop being attracted because you're not tall enough, rich enough, or handsome enough. Friend, they lose attraction because of behaviors you don't even realize you're showing. And if you don't stop them, nothing else you do will matter. Gentlemen, I want to start with a hard truth. Friend, attraction isn't logical. It doesn't follow a neat checklist. It doesn't come down to your bank account or the car you drive or even how tall you are. Attraction is emotional, it's instinctive, friend, it's subconscious. And because of that, many men sabotage themselves without even realizing it. They show up in ways that drain a woman's respect and desire, friend, not because they're bad people or because they don't mean well, because they don't understand what actually fuels attraction. But here's the good news. Once you know what kills attraction, friend, you can stop doing those things immediately. And when you stop doing them, you give women the space to actually see and feel the man you truly are. There are 9 attraction killers that smart men always avoid. Friend, these are the silent destroyers of desire, the little habits and mindsets that erode a woman's respect over time. Some of them seem harmless, even polite. Some of them you might have been taught growing up. Friend, but if you want to be admired, respected, and truly desired, you must know these 9 and stay far away from them. Friend, and this is the point where most men lose the game, but you don't have to. The first attraction killer is neediness. Friend, nothing drains attraction faster than a man who constantly clings to a woman for reassurance, attention, or validation. Neediness shows up in the constant texting, the endless questions like, do you still like me? Friend, are you mad at me? Did I do something wrong? At first, she might find your affection sweet, but over time it becomes heavy. It makes her feel like she has to carry the weight of your self-worth. Friend, smart men know that attraction grows when you have a full life outside of her, when you bring energy into her world rather than trying to take it from hers. They don't beg for love, they invite it. Friend, you think this is a small detail. Actually, this is the exact reason attraction silently dies. The second attraction killer is inconsistency. Women cannot respect a man who says one thing and does another. Friend, if you tell her you'll call, then don't. If you promise you'll show up, then flake. If you talk about your dreams but never take action, that lack of follow-through makes her feel unsafe, friend, and when a woman feels unsafe, she pulls away. Smart men avoid this by aligning their words with their actions. They'd rather under-promise and over-deliver than break trust. Consistency communicates reliability, friend, and reliability builds respect. The third killer is over-investing too soon. This is when a man pours everything into a woman he barely knows. Lavish gifts, constant attention. Friend, rearranging his whole life around her before she's earned that level of commitment. To him, it feels like romance. To her, it feels like pressure. Attraction grows when investment is mutual. Friend, smart men pace themselves. They give, but they also observe. They allow her to earn more of their time and energy as she shows her character. By not over-investing, they create balance, and balance keeps desire alive. Friend, the fourth killer is lack of ambition. No woman can truly respect a man who has no drive, no vision, no hunger for more. It's not about being rich. Friend, it's not about having status. It's about showing that you're going somewhere, that you have goals that matter to you. A man who drifts through life without passion or purpose slowly loses her respect. Friend, smart men avoid this by constantly working on themselves, by striving for growth, by showing that they are building something meaningful with their lives. Ambition is magnetic because it signals strength and leadership. Friend, the fifth killer is poor emotional control. Let's be clear, real men feel emotions deeply. But when those emotions spill out as uncontrolled anger, sulking, or constant negativity, attraction dies. Friend, a woman cannot feel safe with a man who loses himself in his emotions. Smart men master themselves. They can feel deeply without being ruled by their feelings. They know how to breathe, how to ground themselves. Friend, how to respond instead of react. Emotional maturity is incredibly attractive because it shows strength. Immaturity, on the other hand, repels. Friend, I'm about to reveal the secret that women never directly tell men. The sixth killer is jealousy and possessiveness. Many men believe that showing jealousy proves they care. Friend, but what it really proves is insecurity. A man who panics every time his woman talks to someone else, who constantly questions her loyalty, who tries to control her freedom, only ends up pushing her away. Friend, smart men know that attraction thrives in trust, not control. They don't need to monitor her because they know their worth. They don't cling tightly out of fear. They hold loosely out of confidence. Friend, the seventh killer is self-neglect. A man who doesn't take care of his body, his hygiene, his appearance, or his mental health slowly erodes attraction without realizing it. At first, she might overlook it, friend, but over time, she starts to wonder if he even values himself. Because if you don't value yourself, why should she? Smart men avoid this by maintaining themselves. They don't need to be fitness models or perfect. Friend, but they show self-respect through discipline, cleanliness, and effort. And that effort signals value. The eighth killer is gossiping or complaining. A man who constantly talks negatively about others, friend, who whines about his life, who blames everyone else for his problems, kills attraction instantly. Complaining is weakness disguised as words. Women can't admire a man who's always playing the victim. Friend. Smart men avoid this by focusing on solutions, not problems. They take ownership of their lives, and even when they face challenges, they face them with strength, not with excuses. Friend, the ninth killer is pedestalizing women. This is when a man treats a woman like she's above him, like she's the prize and he's just lucky to be in her presence. He showers her with compliments. Friend never challenges her and loses his own identity in trying to please her. But attraction doesn't work that way. The moment you put her above you, she begins to see you as below her. Friend, smart men avoid this by valuing women, yes, but never forgetting their own worth. They meet her as an equal, not as a worshiper. And here comes the twist that either makes or breaks every relationship. Men, friend, if you miss this point, no matter how hard you try, the attraction won't come back. Now, if you look at these 9 killers together, you'll see the thread connecting them all. Friend, their behaviors born out of insecurity, out of a lack of self-respect, neediness, inconsistency, overinvesting, lack of ambition, poor emotional control, jealousy, self-neglect, complaining. Friend, and pedestalizing, all of these are symptoms of a man forgetting his own value. And here's the truth: attraction is not something you can fake. You can't trick a woman into respecting you. She either feels it, friend, or she doesn't. And she feels it when you respect yourself first. Smart men avoid these killers because they understand attraction at its core. Friend, they know that attraction isn't about being perfect. It's about being grounded, authentic, and strong. It's about leading yourself first before trying to lead anyone else. Friend, it's about creating a life that you're proud of and then inviting a woman into it, not begging her to be the source of your happiness. When you avoid these 9 mistakes, you don't have to chase women anymore. Friend, they chase you, they lean into your energy because it feels rare, it feels safe, it feels exciting. So here's my challenge to you: take a look at your life right now. Where are you slipping into neediness? Friend, where are you being inconsistent? Where are you overinvesting? Where are you lacking ambition? Where are you losing control of your emotions? Where are you getting jealous instead of trusting? Friend, where are you neglecting yourself? Where are you complaining instead of owning your life? Where are you putting her on a pedestal instead of standing tall beside her? The moment you identify those places, friend, you have the power to change. And the moment you change, everything about how women respond to you will change too. Because the truth is, friend, attraction isn't built in grand gestures. It's built in who you are every day, in the way you carry yourself, in the way you respect yourself, in the way you lead your own life. Smart men know this. Friend, they avoid these 9 killers, not because they're trying to play games, but because they understand that respect and attraction flow naturally when you live as a man of value. And the same can be true for you. Friend, stop these 9 killers today, and you'll no longer be the man chasing women. You'll be the man women feel lucky to have found. Friend, and here comes the twist that either makes or breaks every relationship. Men, if you miss this point, no matter how hard you try, the attraction won't come back. Gentlemen, friend, let's dive even deeper into what makes these attraction killers so dangerous and why smart men avoid them at all costs. Attraction is fragile. It doesn't take much to build in the beginning, friend, but it takes even less to destroy. A woman may notice your confidence, your charm, your energy, but if you slip into these destructive patterns, the spark she once felt can vanish almost instantly. Friend, and once respect is gone, desire doesn't just decrease, it disappears. This is why men who appear to have everything on the surface, good looks, decent jobs, even wealth, can still find themselves abandoned. Friend, ghosted or left behind. It's not about what you have, it's about who you are in the moments that truly matter. Let's revisit the first killer, neediness, but go beyond the obvious. Friend, neediness isn't just about texting too much or wanting constant validation. At its root, it's a lack of belief in your own worth. Friend, a man who is needy doesn't just ask for reassurance. He broadcasts through his actions that he doesn't trust himself to be enough. He looks to a woman to fill the holes in his self-esteem. Friend, and here's the brutal truth: no woman wants to be your therapist, your savior, or your source of self-worth. She wants to admire you, not feel responsible for keeping you together. Friend, smart men avoid this trap by doing the work to fill their own cup first. They cultivate friendships, passions, and inner strength so that when they step into a relationship, they give instead of grasping. Friend, they know that love thrives in abundance, not in desperation. Friend, most people stop thinking at this stage, and that's the biggest mistake. What I'm about to share with you will completely change your perspective. Now, inconsistency. Friend, do you know what inconsistency communicates to a woman's subconscious? Chaos, instability, risk. Women are biologically wired to seek safety in a partner. Safety doesn't mean weakness. It means stability. Friend, reliability, the ability to be counted on. If you're hot and cold, if one day you're all in and the next day you disappear, she won't feel secure in your presence. Friend, an insecurity kills desire faster than almost anything. Smart men live with integrity, which means they keep their word, not because they have to, but because it's who they are. They don't overcommit, friend, and they don't make promises they can't keep. They know that consistency is a quiet but powerful form of strength. Overinvesting too soon is another silent killer, and it ties directly to masculine polarity. Friend, the masculine energy is about direction, leadership, purpose. When a man throws all of that away just to orbit around a woman he barely knows, he flips the polarity. Instead of being the grounded man she can lean into, friend, he becomes the unsteady man leaning on her approval. Women don't respect men who abandon their own lives to prioritize hers before she's earned it. Smart men understand understand that attraction grows in space and balance. Friend, they are generous, yes, but they're not reckless with their energy. They know that their time and effort are valuable, and they give them in proportion to what is reciprocated. Friend, this balance creates the dance of attraction, where both partners invest in one another without suffocating the relationship. Let's talk more about lack of ambition. You may not realize it, friend, but women notice the little things. They notice whether you're excited about the future, whether you're setting goals, whether you're striving for something beyond where you are. Friend, a man who has no ambition signals that he has settled with mediocrity, and mediocrity does not inspire respect. This doesn't mean you need to have millions or be chasing fame. It means you wake up with purpose. Friend, you push yourself toward growth and you refuse to remain stagnant. Even small acts of progress, learning a skill, advancing in your career, friend, building your health are deeply attractive because they communicate movement. A man in motion draws people in. A man standing still gets left behind. Emotional control, or rather the lack of it, friend, deserves more attention too. Many men think being alpha means never showing emotion. That's not strength, that's suppression. But at the same time, spilling every emotion uncontrollably, flying into rages, friend sulking, or living in constant negativity is equally destructive. Women don't want robots, but they also don't want ticking time bombs. Friend, emotional control is about balance, being able to feel deeply while still leading yourself through those emotions with composure. Smart men have self-mastery. They don't avoid feelings. They process them. Friend, they don't deny pain. They handle it with dignity. They don't explode in anger. They channel that energy into solutions. Friend, this kind of control doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you the kind of man women can truly trust. Jealousy and possessiveness are among the most common mistakes men make, and yet they are among the most toxic. Friend, think about it. When you are jealous, you are essentially saying, I don't believe I'm enough for you to choose me. That insecurity bleeds out in your tone, your questions, your need to monitor her every move. Friend, and nothing suffocates a woman faster than a man who doesn't trust her. Possessiveness is even worse. It takes away her freedom. And when you take away a woman's freedom, you take away her desire. Friend, attraction can only thrive when she feels she is choosing you, not being caged by you. Smart men never trap women. They allow them freedom, and paradoxically, that freedom is what makes her want to stay. Friend, self-neglect is another attraction killer most men underestimate. It's not just about looks, although looks matter more than many men admit. It's about signaling self-respect. A man who eats poorly, never exercises, friend, neglects hygiene, or lets his appearance slide communicates to the world that he has given up on himself. And if you've given up on yourself, why should she invest in you? Women don't expect perfection, friend, but they expect effort. They expect that you take pride in yourself, because self-respect is contagious. When you treat yourself well, you show others, including her, that you are valuable. Friend, smart men know this and maintain themselves not for shallow reasons, but because their body, their health, and their presence reflect their internal discipline. Friend, complaining and gossiping is one of the most unattractive habits men can develop. A man who constantly complains signals weakness, helplessness, and a victim mindset. He drains the energy of everyone around him. Friend, especially his woman. Instead of being her source of strength, he becomes another problem she has to deal with. Gossip is equally destructive. It makes you look small, petty, and insecure. Friend, smart men don't waste time tearing others down or whining about their lot in life. They focus on solutions, they rise above, they face challenges head on. This creates admiration, friend, because strength in adversity is deeply magnetic. And finally, pedestalizing women. This is one of the biggest mistakes men make, and it often comes from good intentions. Men want to show they appreciate a woman, friend, that they see her as special. But when you place her above you, when you treat her as the prize while forgetting your own value, you actually destroy the very dynamic that fuels attraction. Friend, women don't want to be worshipped. They want to be met. They want to look at you and see a man who knows his worth and stands tall beside them. Friend, smart men know how to respect women without surrendering their own dignity. They create balance, equality, and polarity by being confident in their own value. Now, friend, let's go beyond these 9 killers into the ripple effects they create. Because when you fall into these patterns, it's not just attraction that dies. It's your confidence. It's your opportunities. Friend, it's the way women talk about you to their friends. A needy man isn't just unattractive. He gets categorized as weak, as someone to avoid. An inconsistent man isn't just frustrating. He's deemed unreliable. Friend, someone unworthy of deeper trust. A man with no ambition isn't just boring. He becomes invisible in a world that rewards drive. These killers don't just sabotage relationships. They sabotage your identity as a man. Friend, and here's where smart men separate themselves. They see relationships as a reflection of who they are becoming. Friend, they understand that every attraction killer is really a mirror pointing back to something they must work on within themselves. Neediness, it means you must build self-esteem. Inconsistency. Friend, you must strengthen discipline. Overinvesting, you must practice patience. Lack of ambition, you must reconnect with purpose. Poor emotional control, you must build self-mastery. Jealousy. Friend, you must deepen your confidence. Self-name must commit to self-care. Complaining, you must adopt responsibility. Pedestalizing, you must own your worth. Every one of these killers points to a path of growth. Friend, and when you grow, attraction naturally follows. What many men don't realize is that women can feel your energy long before you even speak. They can sense if you're needy, if you're grounded, friend, if you respect yourself, if you're masking insecurity. They may not put it into words, but they feel it in their bodies. Friend, that's why avoiding these killers is not about memorizing tricks. It's about transforming who you are from the inside out. When you become the man who naturally avoids these behaviors, friend, you don't have to chase women. They feel drawn to you because your presence communicates safety, strength, and excitement without you even trying. Friend, this is why attraction is less about what you say and more about what you embody. A man can recite the smoothest lines in the world, but if he's needy, inconsistent, or lacking ambition, those words will fall flat. Friend. On the other hand, a man who embodies confidence, purpose, and self-respect can say the simplings and ignite deep attraction. Smart men know this. Friend. They don't waste energy memorizing tactics. They spend their energy becoming men of value. Friend. Most people stop thinking at this stage, and that's the biggest mistake. And here's the final truth you need to hear. Avoiding these 9 killers doesn't just make you more attractive to women. Friend, it makes you more attractive to life. Opportunities come to men who are consistent, ambitious, disciplined, emotionally mature, and confident. Respect flows toward men who respect themselves. Friend, leadership comes naturally to men who take responsibility instead of complaining. Attraction isn't just about romance, it's about how you show up in the world. Friend, so if you've recognized yourself in some of these killers, don't despair. Every man has fallen into them at some point. What matters is what you do now. Friend, will you keep repeating the patterns that sabotage your relationships and your life? Or will you rise, make the changes, and become the kind of man who naturally commands respect and desire? The choice is yours, friend. And remember, this attraction is not about chasing women or trying to impress them. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to. When you avoid these 9 killers, when you live with self-respect, friend, when you lead yourself first, you won't have to worry about whether women find you attractive. They will, because real attraction isn't earned by begging. It's earned by being. Friend, conclusion, attraction is fragile, but it's also powerful when you know how to protect it. Smart men avoid these 9 killers not because they're perfect, friend, but because they respect themselves too much to sabotage their own value. If you want women to desire you, admire you, and stay with you, start by cutting out these patterns today. Because when you do, friend, you won't have to chase women anymore. They'll naturally feel lucky to have found you. That's not a game, that's growth. And growth is the most attractive thing a man can ever embody.